show. Step off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clocks mean a bit more. Ayo, bro, let's bring this on. Hey, hey, why this up? Oh, Captain, my Captain, show the stuff. Power slammer, suplex 2. Hot garbage is just for you. Big breaker, cut a cold red. Figure 4, high time ahead. Since 2014, it's on. It's a 10K kid, no DQ. Strong style, shot, this is how it goes. Tom Clocks main event. Tom Clocks main event. Tom Clocks main event. Tom Clocks main event.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. I was doing stretches like I'm in the gym. No one got to see that. Marie might have seen it. I'm sitting here doing this like I'm stretching to work out to do the show. That would be the hint that I'm dropping. It is not a workout to do the show. It's a mental workout, if I'm being honest. But physically, not so much. It depends on how hot it is up here. I'm just in my little world. Welcome back to the show, kids. Tom Clark's main event, live on the air. It's another Friday. We're back here with you. This is episode number 392. How you like that? I like it quite a bit. We're 8 episodes away from the big 400. The Tom Clark's main event dancers are warming up. They've been in the wings for quite a long time. I can't wait to debut them. Ladies are working hard. There's some guys out there too. I'm not sexist, all right? So yeah, they're working hard. And can't wait for them to show their stuff, strut their stuff. You guys will be happy. It's 11 years in the making. 400. Can't wait to get there, kids. We appreciate everybody watching. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a heck of a couple of weeks here for us, but we're trudging right along. We got some big news to share with you later, and big news coming down the pike in the next couple of weeks, so we hope you guys are paying attention. I've already dropped the link in the chat. If you will, kids, go and subscribe to Boink Studios on the YouTube. Lots of new stuff coming your way, new shows, new content. I told you it was going to happen. Glad you all paid attention, all right? So hopefully you guys are staying up for that. And again, we appreciate your business as always. Are you ready to talk some AEW? Because, buddy, I'm ready to pitch it to you. Huh? Who's ready? I am. Show of hands. Before we bring our guest on board, let's say some hellos. Ray Alday is the first one here. How you doing, man? Good to see you. JP is here. CRP in the house. What's going on, Chris? Everybody send Chris some good vibes. I won't reveal anything on the air. Chris is good, but everybody send Chris some good vibes. I'm sure he would appreciate it. Fernando, how are you doing? Good to see you, as always. Christine says, my audio is very rough. Is it really? Do I sound choppy? Oh, man. Fernando says I'm breaking up. Well, kids, be patient, everybody. Be patient. Sometimes the Wi-Fi does what the Wi-Fi is going to do. It's been a challenge here, kids. I'm hardwired in with Ethernet, and it's still a challenge. Some of it is at the foot of StreamYard. Trust me, I've spent a lot of time researching this, and I've basically done all I can do on my end. It still sucks. It is what it is. But we thank you guys for hanging in there with us, for powering through. We appreciate you very much. Sugar Shane is in the house. Maria is here. Ray, I'm not going to put that up. Don't even get me started. They're coming for all of us, brother. If you have a voice, don't even get me started. All right, kids, let's bring on our guest. You know her from Peaches and Power Bombs and the Tailgate Party. Please welcome back to the show. Great friend of the show, Majestic Marie. How are you doing today? Thanks for joining us today.
As you can see, I'm really excited about this weekend. I'll give you one guess.
I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know why that could be. Jeez. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. It's always a good time.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I sometimes I'll get people randomly tagging me in the chat and saying, hey, do you need a guest? Do you have a guest? And I'm like, dude, come on. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll tap people on the shoulder and we're all busy, so it's perfectly fine. But yeah, my door's always open, as you know. So yeah, thanks again for coming on. Christine, I think, is a regular viewer of yours.
Yes, she
Marie.
is.
David down Canada's here. Hope Australia's treating you right. David, good to see you. Family is good, my friend. Hope yours is as well. What's up, Jay in the UK, baby? Jay of Untitled Wrestling Podcast fame. And,
Jay and I will be friends because he says he's
I don't know
happy
how
about
anybody
Eddie
can be
being back.
unhappy about Eddie being back. If people are unhappy about that, I just don't have anything to say to you. I can't wait to get into that here today because I'm sure everybody's got thoughts on him coming back and everything, and seeing him back in action. It's been a long time coming. Fernando says, who's ready for All Out? Brother, we are. And we're not going to waste any more time. Marie, before we get to the match card today, what do you think about the show overall as a whole? How you feeling about the card? Sometimes the AEW shows were like, well, it'll still be a great show, but maybe the matches aren't quite what they've been. What's your thoughts going into this?
You've done a good job. Now, there are a few exceptions. There are some matches that have just been thrown together last minute, like the tag team ladder match and things like that. But a lot of the matches have been leading up to this point over the last few months. MJF and Mark Briscoe, for instance, they've been at each other's throat for months now, and now we are finally getting this big boiling point to the point where, like, okay, bets are off. I've had each other's faces, and I like when it's when they've been working towards it instead of just random matches. So I'm excited about all of that.
You like the story to be laid out and
Yes.
to take their time. I feel that. I'm with you. I don't like it's a cliche thing to call it, but hot shot booking is the term. And it's probably way overused, but it's the thing that we kind of typically always refer to it as. And I say it all the time, but I feel like Tony Khan does that stuff quite enough. Are they bad at revealing? As they go, maybe it's a combination of both. It's hard to say, but no, I feel what you're saying for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like we said, kids, it's a big card, and can't wait to get to it. We've got stuff that we want to get to here today, and we want to talk about the matches as of today. And we assume this is it, unless something were to happen online. Of course, this is also counting the pre-card or pre-show. We'll get it. So I'm just going to start, and we'll see where we end up here. Let's start off with the ladies. 8-woman tornado tailgate brawl. They were pushing this a little bit too hard on the show, I think, with the cooler and the spatula, but it's fine. Got to steal that pay-per-view. I get it. Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, and Willow versus Megan Bain, Penelope Ford, and the Triangle of Madness. I smile because it's so cheeky and silly, but I actually really, really like it. That's Julia Hart in the Sky Blue. Marie, what do you think about this match?
I'm glad that these ladies have something to do on the card, even though it's in the pre-show. They have a lot of women, they have a lot of talent, and they don't have much for them to fight over and much for them to do, kind of. Because let's be honest, Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné is their two biggest female stars on the roster, and they are both kind of holding their titles hostage a little bit. And I understand that because they're really big stars, and you want to build people up in order for them to finally take those titles. And right now we're just not at that point. So we need these girls to do something. Ray and I talked about this yesterday, and he was asking me if I thought that I think it's actually going to be Willow. And I just want to get your take on that. Do you think that it's going to be her, or do you think it's going to be someone else?
I don't think I want Willow to join the.
Oh, I don't either. I like her charismatic, but I'm just saying that's the way it looks. That's the way it looks.
I in my opinion, you turn people when it's time to turn. And I don't think Willow needs help. I think Willow's great the way she is. A year from now, would I feel that way? I don't know. But Willow's just such an amazing baby face. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah,
Stat would
I agree with
fit.
that.
I think Stat would fit, honestly. If
Okay,
they're
you
held
don't think
event,
it's too on the nose.
they do it all the time, though. I
Okay,
mean, Daniel Garcia was way too on the nose, but they did anyway.
that's true.
Jury's out if that's going to work. It looks okay right now. Kind of weird because the guy has been healed before. He didn't just start wrestling last week, but I get it. They're working the gimmick and the angle, and that's fine. But yeah, we'll see. But no, I love Stat. I love Willow, so we'll see how it plays out. Is it too on
Yeah,
the nose for you, do you think? I mean, do they even need to add a female at this point? Do you think it's even necessary? I mean, what's your
yeah,
thought?
I think it's a little too on the nose with Chris Statlander. It, but you know, they do it all the time, like you said. And it depends if they need to do something with Marina Shafir in the women's division. I think she just kind of hangs around and promotes the guys' matches in her group all the time and helps them out. And she doesn't really seem to have any of her own goals or what does the Death Riders want to do in the women's division? They have a woman there. Why aren't they trying to dominate that as well as the men's division? But if female in the Death Riders, they could go for something like that. But that area might already be crowded too with all the other great women's teams that are already put together and are just geared up and ready to go. So
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm still pro tag team championships. I want to see it happen. I'm not sure what they're waiting on, but there's plenty of women in that company to for those belts to be passed around. So I would say let's make it happen. Alma, hope you get on the men's soon. I do appreciate you watching. He's sharing a story of his friend passing away. All the best to your friend's family, of course. All the best from me and us here. I appreciate you as always watching, man. Ray says Chris's turn makes more sense. It took too long, but that's my feeling. And of course, he's shouting out Adam Cole. Shocking. But yeah, Maria says Willow should not turn heel. Fernando said turning Willow heel would be a bad idea. They've done weirder stuff in that company. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I love that all these ladies are getting an opportunity here. Hopefully something becomes of it. I mean, like you said, we're all on the card, which is good. Even if it's on the pre-show, which it may end up being. I assume it will be.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Who do you got for this one? Heels or faces?
I don't really know because I haven't. I don't get to watch Collision as much as I do Dynamite, and that's where the main storyline with all of these ladies have been. So I'm not really sure. I want to just say the faces just to say something. Yes.
I feel like the heels need to win this because
Okay.
in my opinion, because like Triangle Madness thing, I feel like they need some victories because Sky Blue just dropped a match, and at the same time, either way would be good.
Yeah, but a lot of the heels, especially in the women's division, it seems like they just get beaten over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then you're like, okay, well, who's left?
Yeah.
So it's like, I see your point.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll see how it works out, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be all kinds of silly because Harley's in it, and I'm here for the silliness when it comes to Harley Cameron. She's improved so much, and I love her. 3 weeks ago when she and Stout were cutting that promo, and she was yelling to the camera, "Give us Brodito." That's the best thing ever. Oh my God, best thing ever. Speaking of the aforementioned Daniel Garcia, he's facing Kazuori Shibata in a singles match. I got to tell you, I feel like Shibata's losing this. I
Mm.
don't know what good would become of, let's have John beat up on Danny for the next 6 months and like he did Wheeler. I don't think that's really necessary.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it could happen that way. How do you think this is going to play out?
If you're having someone turn heel and this is their first match kind of in their new role and they've joined this big dominating group like the Death Riders, I think he needs to them turning him heel, because if he just gets beat right out of the gate, then it doesn't really it looks like he made a bad decision. So you need to keep his momentum going if you want people to buy into his newfound hatred, I guess, for the.
I agree. I don't think it looks good if, like you said, if he were to drop his first match on a pay-per-view anyway, as a member of the Death Riders. I don't think it looks good. And I think they'll crush it. Shibata's a
Yes.
freaking legend. And, but I do think Danny probably needs to win this. And hopefully his dancing days are behind him. I won't rant on that too much. But, yeah, I go Daniel for the win here as well. I think I'll say it's a fairly easy call. Hopefully it will be. We've also got the Ops, Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs versus the Workhorsemen of Anthony Henry and JD Drake. I'm a Drake guy as well as Anthony Henry. I don't see, I guess anything can happen, but I think the Ops are winning this. Other than giving Drake and Henry some great time on the card, which is a good thing, how do you think this will play out? I mean, lots of power moves, I'm assuming, that kind of thing, but I think this will be a solid match, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been watching Anthony Henry for years, since 2011, I believe. He's a good friend of mine, and with anything, and I would love to see them win, but I don't know. It's the Ops, it's Samoa Joe. So in Powerhouse Hobbs, would you have them lose to a team that maybe the audience doesn't necessarily know or is as familiar with? So I have a feeling it's going to be the Ops, but I'm going to be pulling for my friend Anthony Henry.
Yeah, it'll be a good match. I really think this will be a good match. I think it'll be better than what people think. But my question is, they're going to get any kind of time? Is it going to be 7 minutes and they're done? Like, probably so. I don't know. That will affect it, I'm sure. But we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I go for the Ops here as well, for sure. And I would like to see.
Though.
I agree. Since we're on the Ops, what do you think about this whole Hook thing where Hook's talking about you guys moved on pretty quick? Like, I don't know. Like, what were they supposed to do? Not tag anymore? Just stop wrestling? What are we talking about? It seems kind of a weird thing to.
I don't know. Wrestling is weird like that, though, because they do this all the time, like where someone accidentally runs into someone else and then they get mad at them,
Sure.
and you're like, you could tell, like, that was an accident.
Of course.
And you're mad at them for an accident. Like, you can't halt, like, when you're running straight forward. So, it's just wrestling logic, really, and you just gotta, roll your eyes and go along with it and just be like, okay. But
Yeah.
I don't know, those guys. I thought they would have done it by now, or I don't know. I think the timing is weird.
Yeah. Pro wrestling logic is very similar to comic book science. Things work the way they work because they got to work that way, and we got to keep the story moving. So that's comic book science does the same thing. So, yeah, JP saying, do you think Hook will turn on Samoa Joe and go full heel? I mean, probably.
Probably, but do you think that they should?
Nah.
They have Will Ospreay is out. Swerve Strickland is out. Kenny Omega is around but not around. I mean, they need baby faces right now.
I totally agree. Yeah, I don't think you need more heels. And you know, back when size mattered, which size doesn't matter anymore, and it's fine. I'm over it, everybody.
Yeah.
I did get over it. But in another day and time, Hook would be effing destroyed. But Hook's great, and we're not talking about something real. We're not talking about a real thing. So,
Right.
you know, we forgive a lot of that stuff. But I don't know. It just seems like what kind of damage can he do to Joe? Because if he's going to turn heel on him, Joe's going to get laid out. He's going to be attacked. He's going to something. But Hook's going to, I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
Kind of like
and
turning Darby heel. Do you know what I mean? Like, how would you even pull that off?
I don't know. I can see Hook more of a heel than Darby Allin.
Same.
But I do want to make a point that he said that I guess I'm going on this alone, or maybe not. So maybe there's going to be someone who joins up with Hook to go up against the Ops. I don't know. I don't know who that would be, but he did drop that little golden nugget.
Yeah, that's good.
That maybe he's not alone after all.
I don't know who it could be. That'd be interesting. Everybody put your guesses in the chat. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks. Yeah, we'll see. But again, like you said, I opts for the win for sure. We assume that's the end of the pre-show, kids. And then we move on to the main card. This show is in Toronto, Canada. So let's talk about the reunion that everybody's been wanting to talk about, been wanting to see forever. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR with Stokely, of course, in the tag team match. Thoughts on this, and who do you think is going over?
Okay, I'm really excited. I'm a huge FTR fan. Huge FTR fan, to be honest. And, you know, I liked Edge and Christian growing up, too. So this is a dream match for me. I'm excited to see these two teams go at it. If it were up to me, I would have FTR win just so I could see more of these two teams. But, you know, it is what it is. I understand that they are in Toronto and in Adam Copeland and Christian's hometown. So I understand Tony Khan likes to be nice to the hometown and not make people look silly, unlike other people used to do. That's neither here nor there. And so I wouldn't be too upset if Adam Copeland and Christian won this match. But if it was up to me, FTR would win just so I could play with this storyline a little bit more. But
yeah, I think it's Christian and Cope to win this as well. I just don't know what would be gained. And you know, FTR's you know, in my opinion, maybe kind of hit a wall because I won't say danger, right? But one of the things about tag team wrestling, as much as you get creative and split them up for a bit and then bring them back, do you put a third person with them? Do you give them a valet? I mean, they tried this Stokely manager shtick, and in my opinion, it's not working. That's me talking. Maybe other people are entertained by it. I don't think they ever need a mouthpiece. They can both talk. And when FTR cuts promos, it takes an hour because they each have to have mic time. And I get Bishop Khan and Tony Leona than he would FTR because those two guys are not known as talkers. Not saying they couldn't do it, but it's not their thing. FTR can talk. So I don't know that the manager thing is working. So like whether they win or lose Saturday, my question would be what's next? Because again, they've done everything. They go back to the Bucks. They just go to another tag team. Like I'd be interested for me, Marie, to see how they keep them busy and keep people interested in them.
right,
Because I don't know how they do that right now.
I understand that. They've kind of done it all with everyone. And but at the same time, it's like their tag team division is so severely lacking to me. And it's a shame because when they started in 2019, they had one of the best tag team divisions in wrestling. And it's dropped off pretty far. So the thing is that right now, if the Young Bucks or FTR does not have the titles, like, no one cares about the tag team division. That's
Yeah, and plus, the Outrunners, I still understand why FTR couldn't put them over. I'm not saying that's an FTR decision. I don't believe that. But, like, they worked them how many times? You can't let them
right.
have one win. And now it's like, and then they worked Billington and Priest twice. Great matches.
Mhm.
But during that second match, I'm thinking, this is great, but they're not going to win.
Yeah.
So, like, FTR, again, they're in a weird spot. If all they do, if they start losing, people will go, well, you're supposed to be this legendary tag team while you lose matches. But if all they do is win and they don't have the belts, and it becomes, why don't you have the belts? So it's a maybe it's not weird for anybody else, but it's odd for me anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm not picking on FTR. I think it's like this with every tag team.
Yeah.
Or it can be like this with every tag.
I know. They need something. And I think they saw that they needed something, and that's why they brought Stokely in with them. And I can't really knock on them for trying to do something
Sure.
different, but I don't think that Stokely really fits in with them. It doesn't help that usually when you have a manager with somebody, like, the manager is there to, like, make them look huge. And, like, Dax and Cash are only, like, what, 2-3 inches taller than Stokely is? So it doesn't have that I don't know, that domineering effect. And like you said, Dax and Cash can talk just as good as Stokely can. So I don't know. It hasn't worked for me either. I don't hate it. There are some things that Stokely has done with FTR that is entertaining, but at the same time, I just don't think that they really mesh. Like, it doesn't really work for me.
There is a common denominator when it comes to Stokely. They bounce him around for a reason, and I will
Yeah.
leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. There's a common denominator here, which sucks because I've always liked the guy. I've always liked him. But yeah, there's definitely stuff. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Are you? By the way, I don't want to move on too quick. What do you think about Cope and Christian being back together? Are you like psyched for it? Are you looking forward to it? I mean, were you just really waiting till they made it happen? Did it happen too fast? What's your thoughts?
I think it happened a little bit too quickly. I think they could have drew it out a little bit more. I think the reason why they did it so fast, though, was to make sure that they were a tag team by the time that we got to this weekend in Toronto, so that those two guys were together. So I understand that aspect of it, but, like, storyline wise, it just felt really rushed.
Yeah, I agree with that. We said that on the show here too, is that it kind of felt like they're like, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. And I'm like, you don't have to go that quick. You could just, to their credit, this thing where Christian is still heel and doesn't want to play nice is
That's funny.
wonderful. It's so good. It's so good. That spot they ran in the ring where he was getting ready to talk about his dad, and Copeland takes him out. He goes, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. It's so good. Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, we're supposed to be good. What are you doing here? Oh, it's so great. I'm totally here for that. I'm totally here for that. Yeah. Well, I can't say, oh, I couldn't wait to see them together. I could wait. I could still wait. But I know that they want it. And I got respect for both of them. So if they want it and Tony wants it, let's just make it happen. None of us getting any younger. If any of us are, tell me how you did it, because I haven't found it. So
Right.
share the secret with me, kids, if you got it. Let's see. Let's stick with tag matches. Actually, trios match. The Hurt Syndicate. That's, of course, Lashley, Shelton, and MVP versus Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, the aforementioned Bishop Khan and Toliona. Speaking of putting people with other people, is Gates of Agony with Ricochet working for you, Marie?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I like
I
them
like Ricochet
together.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And let me just say that I didn't know that MVP had such oomph to him because he was throwing Ricochet around like a rag doll on Wednesday night. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, do not get on the wrong side of MVP. that was intense.
That was great. Phil and I, shout out Phil Lindsay. Phil and I just recorded the 6M and we were done. And we'll usually hang out for a bit after the show and watch Dynamite.
Hmm.
And he was in the middle of saying something and I popped loud and interrupted him. He's like, what? I said, dude, did you not see that? I said, it caught me off guard because MVP just stepped in and went, blah, and just took him out. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, I was totally here for that. Oh my God. So good. Well, you know, they lost the belts, and lo and behold, the sky didn't fall, kids. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're still there now. They can turn face, and because people they wanted to cheer for him anyway, and people
Hmm.
want to hate Ricochet. By the way, speaking of Ricochet, Marie, I think it's the best character work this guy's ever done in his career. It's
I
fantastic.
agree with that. I agree with that. And Ray is gonna not like this, but I like the goofiness and the silliness, and he calls it his cluck noise, but
It's
I
over.
like it too.
It's over. That's like, yeah, it's over. And people can hate it, but it's working. And again, he never had this kind of character work in the other company.
No.
And we saw how they did him on his way out, which wasn't awesome. And yeah, we knew it was going to be a hard sell for him, Marie, coming into this company because, and this is
Mhm.
not to diminish anything Ricochet can do in the ring, but when he walked in WWE, there was maybe one or two guys that could keep up with his level. When he walked
Yeah.
in AEW, there's 7 guys, maybe
Yeah.
more, that can match him. And again,
Right.
that's not to take away from what he can do. But for him to stand out, turn him heel, make him a jerk. I said, what else can you do?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it works. I think it works. I think he's crushing it. So I don't think the Hurt Syndicate's losing this. I don't think they're losing another big match. However, anything can happen. What do you think?
Mm. I think it depends on what they decide to do next, because when Ricochet and the Gates of Agony came out, and interrupted the Hurt Syndicate's tag team title match at the last pay per view, um, they did a good job on commentary of saying, were they hired by MJF to do this to make them lose the match? So is MJF like the silent, I don't know, the one behind all of what Ricochet and the Gates of Agony are doing? Is he the one behind everything? Are we going to eventually get to maybe like a Bobby Lashley versus MJF or something like that? I think it depends. Um, I don't see them. I don't see Hurt Syndicate losing either, just from the way they talk and stuff. But it would be really interesting if Ricochet won, though.
Yeah, I don't think Ricochet and the Gates of Agony can lose. Anybody can lose. We've covered that here
Hmm.
extensively on this show. Anybody can lose anytime. It's fine. But is that how it's going to play out? No, I don't think so. I think
Probably
Hurt
not.
Syndicate's. Yeah, I
Probably
think
not.
I don't know. There's more drama in losing matches than there is in winning, in my opinion. It doesn't mean,
Yeah.
47 matches in a row like Caster, but, there is more drama in losing matches, I think.
Although it's kind of funny that even though he keeps losing, like he still keeps going on. It's part
Yeah.
of the shtick. Like it would almost not work if he won.
And I think he's giving it a good effort. Um,
Yeah.
you can't fault the guy for his effort. He's really giving it everything he has, but it's not working. And we know it's not working because now they're going to put him back together,
Mm.
which is fine. But it's not working. And this thing about where he got the crowd to finally chant his shtick. People like to chant. They're still saying what in pro wrestling shows for
Yeah.
every company. I'm like, people are going to do what they're going to do. They don't, it's so of course they're going to repeat it. They like repetition. They're like, it doesn't mean it's working. And it's not working. We all know it's not working. I like Max a lot, but it's not working. So I guess they'll put them back together. And honestly, hopefully look, if you're going to put them back together, tag team belts. I mean,
Mm.
Sorry. I don't need another fun, entertaining tag team to not win tag team gold. We have the Outrunners, who I love. You're not going to give them the belts.
Yeah.
So, no disrespect to anybody, but like,
Why
I
can't
don't
they at
need it.
least give them the Ring of Honor belts or something?
Absolutely. At 100%. Because it may not mean anything to other people, Marie, but it's still bragging rights. It's still,
Right.
we have gold, and those belts can be traced back to great tag teams through the years. Like, that's a thing. You know what I mean? So,
Right. I mean, would you say that Athena's Ring of Honor Women's Championship reign has meant nothing? I wouldn't.
not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Not at all. Well, again, not to keep using the proverbial catchphrase, we'll see how it plays out. But can't predict the future, kids. We're just giving you our best guesses here. Let's move back to the ladies here, Marie. Let's talk about Mercedes Moné versus Riho. Is this? I won't say is this the best chance ever, but like,
No.
and I said I wasn't going to do this because I'm going to stop focusing on who can beat. I don't care at this point. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter to me. Mercedes is awesome. She's great.
Yeah.
And I say give her 40 belts. I have no problem with that. People get real bent out of shape over stuff like that. I don't understand it.
It doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, it's I don't get it. And look, kids, if you're upset by it, I guess you go ahead. This is going to be a fun match. Riho is, 90 pounds soaking wet with a brick in her pocket. But man, when she lays her stuff in, I wouldn't want her giving me a forearm. I'd be afraid she'd kill me. Like, she's legit. She's a real deal. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun match, but I don't know. I don't want to use the same old shtick. It's too predictable, but it kind of is. Mercedes Moné is not losing. She's not losing. So, but am I going to let that keep me from enjoying the match itself? No.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Riho wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything to back that up. I just, I don't know. And of course, a lot of it would depend on her schedule. Is she traveling anytime soon? Is she going to be here? That kind of thing. If the answer to all that is yes, and they're going to do something different with Mercedes, I think they can make it happen. But, I like surprises. So we'll see. And I don't think this would be a surprise where people would go, I can't believe nah. Riho's again, she's the real deal. Like, and I love Harley, by the way, as we just said. Mercedes drops the belt to Harley, people are going to say, all right, look, I love Harley, but come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, Harley's not quite there yet. But Riho, you could argue, Riho's already been there. She knows how to win the championship. So
that's true. She was the first AEW Women's Champion, so she does have some credentials behind her. So
JP says Monet is going to win clean again and to upset everybody. If she does, I hope everybody's mad. That'd be awesome. I want everybody to be mad. People get mad at pro wrestling is the best thing ever. Like, oh my God, I can't. Can't get over it. So in terms of where Mercedes is right now, because I know you said it didn't really bother you about all the belts and everything, I feel like she brings so much to this company. But if you had to, and I ain't gonna put you on the spot, who do you think? If not Riho, then do they circle back? Does Stat turn heel and get really fired up from the Death Rider stuff? Maybe she's the one to take her down, which I think would be crazy interesting to see it happen. How do you think it plays out with her?
I've always said that it should be Chris Statlander who eventually takes the title off of Mercedes Moné, just because they had that really great rivalry a couple months ago. It was the most interesting thing that Mercedes Moné, to me, has done so far. And to me, that would just be the icing on the cake of putting that and putting a pretty little bow on it. But I'm not in charge, so...
Well, I mean, we'll call them and see what they say. Maybe they'll give you a shot.
Yeah.
Did you hear the soundbite of Tony Schiavone this week on his show where he was?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Oh my God, it was so
Yeah.
good. Tony gives zero F's, kids. He don't care. He stopped caring years ago. I don't know that he ever cared about criticism. He doesn't care. He has
He doesn't
never
care.
cared. Oh my God. I just send Tony out. If I had a situation that needed to be handled, I'm like, Tony, would you go take care of that for me? In a heartbeat. Tony's awesome. I'm not gonna play it here. We'll get in trouble. Plus he curses. And we try to be clean here, kids. So Ray says, I think Willow will beat her one day. You know what? I'm down with that. Willow beating her is poetic justice. I think that would be awesome.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
No. Because you could say, I had your number once before. I'll have your number again, you know. Yeah. Let's do one more, and then we're going to show a quick something, then we'll finish up the card. Let's talk about Darby and Jon Moxley. This is a coffin match. Phil seems to think there's something. Actually, maybe it wasn't Phil that said this. Maybe it was Faye last week. Shout out Faye, who said that, you know, when Darby said, I'm going to take everything from you, but that's after John lost the belt. So what does he mean? Like, I love the let's dig in and see what the layers are. First off, this is going to be insanely bloody, I think.
Yes.
Insanely crazy. There's going to be crazy stunts in this match. But I'm so looking forward to this because I think when these guys work each other, they push each other in a good way. Who do you got coming out on top in this?
Did Jon Moxley win his last match at a pay-per-view? At Forbidden Door, did he win?
Was it in a tag match? Or am I wrong?
I don't remember. Good grief. My brain just went blank.
Well, there's a lot of shows.
I know.
There's a lot of shows.
They happen every 2-3 weeks by now.
Oh, well, remember when AEW's won, 6 pay-per-views a year or something?
Yes. I miss those days.
Well, I'm just glad they're back on tomorrow because I much prefer them on Saturdays, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
I prefer their Saturday shows. Yeah, we reviewed that show here, previewed it and reviewed it. Yeah, it was the big lights out steel cage match.
Okay.
Yeah, and
the Faces one?
Yep. So that kind of says maybe John will go over.
I think John might win.
This is Darby's first, you know, after Everest and everything. And this is tough to call from me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it seems like smart money's on Mox, but I don't know.
Would you, I mean, because what would you do? How would that make the Death Riders look if their leader, Jon Moxley, loses 3 pay-per-view matches in a row?
Yeah, no. Well, if you're going to put it that way, no. No. Yeah. Well, no. Then he ain't losing. Yeah. I don't know how he could. And not have it believable, I suppose. But again, I'm using the word believability for pro wrestling, which is tough. But, yeah. I mean, I'm happy either way. I love both these guys. I think John is proving day after day after day how insanely great he is. And no one can match Darby for sure. So, like, I think this is going to be a great match. I don't honestly care who wins. Let's see. Chris Patton says it's a big match, so Darby will lose. I got to continue the tradition of disappointing fans at pay-per-views and singles matches. Who was it that never... Bray Wyatt. Remember, Bray would never win pay-per-view matches. Like, he could win on TV, and he had the best spots and the best, you know, promos. Then he'd get to pay-per-views, he'd lose all the time. And then, so when he beat Orton for the title, we're like, I'm sorry, what just happened? He beat Orton for the title? Like, we were all shocked that he freaking beat him.
Yep.
Crazy. Christine says, got to have Darby win. Sweet revenge. We'll see. JP says, Mox wins and gets confronted by Kingston after the match. I think a lot of that, JP, the timing of Kingston's match would have to work before John does, which he probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably will. Again, we'll see. We'll see how that works. I'm going John for the win.
I'm going to say the same.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet. Kids, we've been on the air for just over the 45-minute mark. Before we go any further, do me a favor, everybody. We showed this on the socials this past week, but we're going to show it again in case you missed it. Everybody take a moment and watch this.
Mark your calendars. Ray's Sports and Slams podcast is premiering live on Monday, October 6th. Join Ray Dean for the first episode of this brand new show as he tackles everything from the NBA to the NFL, Major League Baseball, pro wrestling, and a lot more. Follow Boink Studios on YouTube for video updates and stay tuned for more. We'll see you on October 6th.
There you go, kids. Ray's Sports and Slams. Don't miss it. October 6th. Ray is pumped up and excited, as am I, and we're very happy to welcome him to the Boink Studios family. And it's almost like Don Callis. The Don Callis family. I'm much better looking than Don Callis, and I don't have a massive scar on my head either. And I wear socks. So
There you go.
hey, I'm saying, gotta wear socks. What are you doing? I've never understood that. The no
I'm just
socks.
going to say that today is the first day that I've heard of this new podcast coming October 6th when Ray and I have been doing the tailgate party for, I don't know, a year now. And I'm just now hearing this. I thought we were friends.
Ray,
I thought we were friends.
I'm not speaking.
And where's
for
my
you, Ray.
invitations? Where's my invitations to be to be a guest?
Yeah, Ray, I'm telling you right now, Ray better watch himself. I'm saying, Marie gonna turn heel on you. CRP says anyone who wears dress shoes
I do
without
that every
socks is a
week.
true heel. Boy, you're right about that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's such a D-bag thing to do. It's a D-bag look for sure. Yeah, it's kind of like the crazy redneck dude that wears the sunglasses on the back of his neck. You just want to like push him off a bridge. Yeah, don't do that. We're grown men. Look, can we just dress like we're grown men? What is that? I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, put socks on, Dawn. So yeah, sorry I got distracted. Yeah, Ray, you owe Marie an explanation, and everybody, please, if you will, follow us on Boink Studios on the YouTube. We're gonna drop it here in the chat for you again. More reasons now to follow than ever. Remember, none of our content's behind a paywall. Lots of podcasts. We got 2 more brand new shows coming down your way. We're going to be dropping announcements of those in the next couple weeks. And I haven't told anybody yet, so we're hopefully we'll surprise everybody. But again, follow us on the YouTube, kids. We very much appreciate it. Let's get back to the card here, Marie. We're almost done wrapping this sucker up. So we all have a soft spot for Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is America's wrestler, because I'm just going to call him that. A lot of this has. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to pitch it to you. I'm going to say one quick thing, and then we can go. But
Okay.
I'm a tables and tax match. I don't, in my opinion. I mean, Mark needs this win. I feel like this is Mark's match to win. However, I don't know. I don't know if that's how it's going to play out. What's your prediction on this? What do you think?
I think Mark Briscoe should win. If it just really depends if they really want to use him or not in the future, or if they just want to keep him in that everybody's friend category where he just tag teams with people, randomly joins people when they're fighting against the heels. That's kind of been his little place lately. And this has really given him a chance to shine and to, I don't know, get a little bit serious, but he's still silly Mark Briscoe, but he has a serious element to it. And he's like, okay, I've got my family and my brother's honor to defend here. That guy is a jerk, and I need to put him in his place. So I've been enjoying this, and I think Mark Briscoe should win, but I always think that Mark Briscoe should win. So
same. I don't care who you put him against. If Mark said, give us Brodito, I'd want Mark to beat both of them. I'm just saying, like, all day long. Yeah, I love
Mark Briscoe versus Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor World Championship last year really hurt my feelings because I was very torn because I was really upset that Eddie Kingston lost, but I couldn't be upset that Mark Briscoe won.
Well, there you go. That's a great way to put it. JP says, how many times have wrestlers lost in their signature matches or matches they have made again? Yes, but JP, but how about this company? How about this company? Before we say he's doomed, which he might be doomed, but this company, I'm just going to leave that with you and leave it up to you to decide.
Darby Allin doesn't usually lose his coffin matches, does he?
There was the one he was in, wasn't it him and Sting versus the Bucks came down, they were going to set fire to the coffin or some such nonsense. I forget who he was working that night.
I know they had one against Strickland, Swerve, and Christian, and they won that match.
Yeah. Chris Patton says signature match would be on the farm for Mark Briscoe. Oh my God.
Oh, that would have been good.
Pig slop, manure on the ground, chicken coop. Dude. We should have had a cinematic match with MJF and Briscoe.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would have been great. And he pins it with a tractor or like a bale of hay or something. You know what I mean? Oh my God.
Mouthpieces are banned.
Yes. I'm gonna have to go take a nap after that. That is effing great, Chris. My God, that never hit me. That's freaking wonderful. The Great Jay versus Mark Briscoe on the farm for yep. Oh, yep, dude. Oh my goodness. JP says Darby has lost. Darby's lost coffin matches in AEW. I don't know who against, but look it up for me so I don't have to do it. I keep my fingers still. Christine says MJF is such a wussy, he'd cry. Well, all right. Never can tell. Yeah, I think Mark should win this. What I was going to say, and it's not a criticism, it's an observation. When, and I've said this before, I said on your show, I think, maybe, I can't remember. I said it a lot. I'm very old school in some of this stuff. Not all of it. Everybody calm down. But in some of it, I'm still very old school. So like.
He's lost one.
Is that it? To who?
Jack Perry.
Oh, that's right.
Here.
That's when the Bucks were going to set the coffin on fire, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah. So I'm old school in a lot of my thought processes still. And so when a wrestler tells me that the guy he's wrestling is not a wrestler and he's a bum and he's no good, okay, well then you better beat him. And when you do beat him, I don't really care because you said he wasn't a wrestler. So and I love MJF. I'm not here to lecture a professional wrestler who has main evented all around the world in front of 80,000 people in the UK on how to cut a promo. I'm not doing that, everybody. But when MJF said the words, you're not a wrestler and you're a bum, I'm like, but aren't you kind of demeaning the guy? Shouldn't there be some sort of threat at all? Like, even if all he said was, I'm going to kill Mark Briscoe Sunday, but you know what? He's crazy. So I know you're crazy. I know you're crazy, Mark. So I'm going to have to, but he wouldn't even give him that. He's just, You're a bum. You suck. You can't wrestle. All right. Well then, okay, man. So tell me why I should care about the match.
That would have worked. That works a couple months ago, but now we're too much to the point because Mark Briscoe has gotten the best of MJF since then. So that argument doesn't even hold up. No,
and it's, in my opinion, it never held up. If we never met Mark Briscoe, never seen him in our lives, and didn't know him from Adam, and it's his second year in the business, then it holds up. It don't hold up now. Like,
well, in storyline, in kayfabe land, I guess you would say, at the beginning, MJF could be like, I can't take you seriously because for the past year and a half, you just been off doing silly stuff or losing every match that you've been in.
Yeah.
So he could have said the same thing, but worded it differently.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're a clown. I can beat a clown. You're just a clown. It's not him saying you can't wrestle. I don't know. I split hairs. I shouldn't. But But you got to talk me into buying a ticket. And when you tell me I'm gonna kill somebody and he don't stand a chance and he's terrible and he's awful and he's not a wrestler, well then I'm not gonna come see you work. I don't know. Again, that's my old school mentality kicking in. Like, again, I not to keep droning on, but I go back to Dusty and Rick. Those guys in storyline hated each other. Absolutely hated each other. But they never didn't give respect to each other. Ever. Because they were trying to get you to come see the match. But now we know things are different. The model is different. Everything's different. So Tom just needs to move on. So anyway, Ray says, love Mark. MJF can lose. I submit that MJF could lose every match for 6 months, and I think he would only get stronger. I think on his promos alone, right? And him pitching a fit about losing, I think that would create a much more compelling MJF than him winning a lot of matches in a row.
I agree with that.
Yeah. He's great. He's so great.
Yeah.
By the way, I
He
love
is.
Max.
Yep.
Don't nobody get upset. He's awesome. So we're both going to tentatively say Briscoe.
Yes.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. Thomas Tony Storm defending the AEW Women's World Championship in a 4-way match against Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Tekla. I think this could potentially, and this is a big one because there's a great talent on the show, as there always is in this company. This could potentially steal the show. It's going to be great. I cannot wait for this. Everybody in this match is awesome. What do you think about this one?
It's going to be really good. Yeah. Chris Statlander is amazing. And she needs to be in the main event. She needs to be up there with Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm. She's something special.
She is.
I don't know what's holding her back, but something is, and they need to unleash that.
I think Stat is blessed as is many workers, is blessed with, when you look at her face, she ain't playing. And right? She's got that. Some people just have it and some people don't. You look at a wrestler and you're like, I don't know if he believes what he's saying. But when you look at her, you're like, yeah, I'm going to stand over here and get out of your way because you look like you might hurt me. Like, I think she's got that. She's got that level of intensity where I don't know if she can just turn it on or if she's, I don't know how her demeanor is in real life, but man, she's very convincing.
Yeah.
Very convincing. Ray thinks she'll turn heel. Interesting.
I guess we'll just have to see.
He'll turn Chris new champ. If not, Tony will be champ until 2088. I don't know about all that. I love Toni Storm as champ because Tony could lose that belt anytime, and she's fine. She's good.
I think so too. I think she's beyond. I think she's more than the championship at this point.
Totally more.
Mercedes
than
too.
I agree with that, and I like that Tony has mentioned the word belt collectors more than one time. Because it isn't something that Mercedes' character doesn't need it either, but Mercedes' character is different. There's two different characters happening here, right? But I love Tony. I love Mercedes too. I think they're both great, and I think Tony doing the best work of her career.
Right, and I think you can almost argue that Toni Storm is the face of AEW right now.
Totally agree. Yep, totally agree. And I love Hangman, but.
Yeah.
Tony also has something that not a lot of people have. In as much as, how do you distinguish yourself from everybody else? Toni Storm is the first answer.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Tony, Darby, Orange, Ospreay, Swerve.
Yeah.
In my opinion, there's a handful of guys that you're like, that guy's different. That girl's different. This is a different company. This is not the company on the other channel. This has got to be different. Yeah. Like, I love that about her. When you tune in, if you didn't know what you were watching, you're like, what is this? Is this theater? Is this a movie? What is she supposed to be? I think it makes you stay on the channel. It'd make me stay on the channel. I'd be like, I have to see what this is. God, she's great.
She is. She is.
This will be a fun match. They're getting behind Tekla. They love her. but I don't know if
Yeah.
it's enough to suddenly pull an upset. Is there any chance we get an upset in this match?
Maybe, but I don't think it'll be Tekla.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not sure about Jamie Hayter either, but if it is, I think it'll be Chris Statlander.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for that, actually. I think it'd be great. And Tony can do business. We know Tony can do business. So if it makes sense and it's the right move and it's the right time, if that's what needs to happen, then let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be interesting to see. By the way, let's circle back real quick to Darby and Mox if we can. The bit where Danielson whispered in Darby's ear. What do you make of that? You think anything's going to become of that?
Well, John Moxley has been whispering in Daniel Garcia's ear for weeks, so maybe it's just, on the other hand, showing him a different way of doing things, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, any chance Danielson gets involved to any degree, you think? Even if it's just to stop a 3 count or something? I don't know. I'm curious.
I
Well,
don't
it's a
know.
coffin match, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
They have
Christine,
been hinting every time the Death Riders are on the television, Excalibur turns to Bryan Danielson and tells him, remember, you cannot get involved. You are on the commentary team.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're just playing it up, and I don't know, maybe.
yeah. Could be. Fernando says, Brian said, just said, leave some for me. I don't hate that, but Fernando also said Darby beats Mox and Mox goes away. I don't think Mox is going anywhere. I think the time to do that would have been when he lost to Hangman and they didn't take him off TV.
Right.
In my opinion, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they need him too much. Christine says, is Orange coming? Orange is definitely coming back. When it's going to happen, I think they're saving. I'd love to see him come back tomorrow. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
They need him. They need him and Eddie both. If him and Eddie both return on the same card, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Because they've lost Ospreay, they lost Swerve, they lost Adam Cole. I mean, that's, whew. Yeah, that's big deal. And Ospreay had neck surgery, so he's officially will be heading into rehab and be on the mend. So glad he got what he needed. So
Yes.
Chris says, in a world with text messaging and WhatsApp, etc., too many people whispering to each other on this show. That's, you know what? I don't want to be rude to anybody, but yeah, well, that's the world we live in, Chris. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the world we live in. Yeah. Let's see. We've only got 3 left, kids. One of them I know you can't wait to get to. But before we, actually, we got 4 left. Excuse me. Do we?
Okay.
4 left. Yeah. By the way, are you picking Tony for that? Or are you gonna do a wild card prediction?
I'm gonna do a wild card and say Chris
Do it.
Statlander.
There you go. There you go. See?
Live life on the edge.
That's right. What do you got to lose besides everything? That's what I always say. That's good. Good for you. By the way, you're crazy.
I'm
Tony's
wrong
winning.
90% of the time anyway. So.
I'm just kidding. I'd be okay if it happened. I love Tony. I don't know. It's hard for me to call. I'll say Tony by default, but I'd be okay if Chris won, honestly. Let's talk about Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita versus Mascara Dorada. 3-way match for the AEW Unified Championship. I would have been great if this was just Takeshita and Okada. But, buddy, if anybody doesn't like Dorada, I don't know what to say to you. Because Dorada is effing great. Like, that match he had with Hechicero. Am I getting no? Who do you work the other night?
I don't know.
Remind me, guys. It wasn't Hechicero. Who do you work? Oh, I can't remember. He wore the bull mask, and now he's not wearing the bull mask. He's dating Mercedes. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Beast Mortos.
Thank you, man. A blank. Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. What are you gonna do? Yeah. Great match. Great match, by the way. So, first off, Do you think it's possible that Takeshita wins the Unified Championship in this? What do you think?
I would like to see Takeshita just beat Okada straight up in a one-on-one match. I think I would prefer that.
Mm.
But if they're wanting to get that title off of Okada without Okada actually losing, then this is a perfect opportunity to do so.
That'd be interesting. Okada's the man. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to pick Okada, but it's not over between him and Takeshita by a
Right.
long shot. Okada wins, but late. How is it? What kind of a lazy pin are you looking at?
He says that Okada's matches have been lazy since the Kenny Omega match.
Yeah, I don't know what TV he's watching. His TV must be out of tune or something. I don't know what's going on. Ray's watching on a portable black and white TV on cable, I guess. I don't know what he's doing.
Sometimes it looks lazy. I'm not going to lie.
Now, y'all can think what you want to think, but I think Okada is still
I'm not saying he's not good.
Oof. And his match against last week, Michael Oku. That match with Michael Oku, if you have not seen that, you got to go out of your way to see it. Michael Oku is awesome. And he proved, I don't know if Michael Oku is in a position to sign with AEW or if he's just got too much going on outside the country. But, buddy, he made a great case for getting signed last Saturday. Michael Oku's awesome. So, yeah. I'll say Okada for the win. If Takeshita won, I'd be totally okay with that. But I think, to your point, I think there's more to be done here with a singles match between those two, which I think Takeshita will ultimately win, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So who you picking for this?
I'm going to say Okada too.
I think if anybody can beat him, and it makes a lot of sense. And plus, the whole family dynamic they have going on right now, that's a thing too. So that's just more drama to add to it. Let's talk about Brodito. We've mentioned Christine has already commented on that versus the Young Bucks versus Jet Speed versus the Dawn Callis family. This is where Hechicero is. 4-way ladder match for AEW World Tag Team Championship. Marie, once again, it's going to be a great match. Do you think the champs retain here?
I'm between either Brodito retaining or Jet Speed winning. It's between those two teams to me. I think that both of those teams have the most momentum going into the match.
Fernando says the Bucks. Fernando, I disagree with you. They can do whatever they want. It's their company. But I don't think there's any drama in the Bucks winning those belts. I just don't like it. I don't.
Well, I don't think the Young Bucks are winning. And do you watch BTE or any of the clips from it?
I used to watch BT all the time. Yes.
Didn't they do a bit on there where they got something like in the mail or something, and it was a knife, and it said, "For the next time you stab me in the back," or something like that? And Jack Perry makes knives. So what if he returns in this match and turns on the Young Bucks and costs them the?
Yeah. So let me ask you this: if Perry comes back, when Perry comes back, if he were to turn face, I mean, in my opinion, the scapegoat thing needs to end. We need to move on from that.
Yes.
He can be a cool and edgy baby face. It's fine, but that scapegoat nickname needs to go. What do you think?
Yeah, he needs to. I don't think his heel run actually worked, so I would move on from that.
I mean,
how exactly I don't know, but
yeah. Well, they gave they kept giving CM Punk airtime months after the guy was gone. I'm like, Perry's entire gimmick is based on what happened with Punk. Like, I wouldn't want to be saddled with that. I wouldn't want that to be my claim to fame as a gimmick that came from Punk. I'd be like, can we move on? Let me do something else now. Because, again, you're letting this guy have free real estate on your TV show every week. Like, I don't know, man. Ray's got a thing against Speedball. Speedball's great. Again, I
I
don't know what
know.
TV you're watching.
He we play fight over it every week, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with Speedball.
Speedball's awesome. Speedball is an acquired taste. And I was worried that he wouldn't be able to get over in this company because he's very different. Because he looks like a 1980s wrestler,
Yeah.
you know, thrust into 2025. And you're like, I don't know if this, I'm going to like this. Then you see him work and throw those kicks. You're like, oh, yeah, he's great. Like, but at first you're not sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, Fernando saying the video was a mistake. Yeah, I just didn't think they needed to do any of that, but we don't have to get into it. So yeah, let's talk about, and I think Brodito retained here. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes down. Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston in a singles match. And we're leaving the championship to the end, but we got Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston. I love that they
Yes.
let Bill come out Wednesday and run down the internet crowd, because for anybody saying Bill doesn't belong in this, for real, I don't know what you're talking about. I know you got thoughts on this. I'm sure you've talked it to death already. But the floor is yours. What are you thinking about this?
Okay, so I do want to say that for Eddie's first appearance on TV, I would have rather him have either gotten in the face of Gabe Kidd or came after the Young Bucks or something like that, because those three were the ones who, quote unquote, is the reason why Eddie's hasn't been able to wrestle for a year, right? Because they did that angle after the match was over. The Young Bucks gave him the BTE. So I would have rather him do something and gotten back with them. But it's Eddie Kingston. He hasn't been there for a year. At this point, as the biggest Eddie Kingston fan on the planet, I'm just happy he's on the card. I'm just happy he's back. So I don't care who he wrestles. He could wrestle Grandma Lois or something and I would be happy, you know? So it doesn't really matter who he wrestles. He's just on the card and I'm just happy to see it. And Big Bill, he's great too. And I've never seen them two together, so I'm actually intrigued to see how this match is going to go.
I love that you made that point, because it's not a match we've seen before. I love matches we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
I got a thought for you, and this won't play out tomorrow, I don't think. I would kind of like to see him with Keith and Big Bill as a trio. I'd like to see Eddie. I'd like to see those two guys turn face. And I'm not saying they're joined at the hip, but that they'd have each other's backs. Because I think both those guys are tough as shoe leather. Eddie's also tough as shoe leather.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like, depending on how it goes tomorrow, that maybe on Wednesday, Bill comes out and says, "You're in my respect. I want to shake your hand." I don't know. We'll see.
There is a history too with Eddie Kingston and Brian Keith, because Eddie was Brian Keith's first match when he officially got signed.
Ooh.
And he said that that Keith earned his respect that night because he gave him everything that he had. So there is already that history and that respect between those two. And so I'll be interested to see what goes on moving forward. Eddie definitely, though, can't really get in someone's, like the Death Riders or Gabe Kidd or anybody else without any backup too. So, and Ortiz is not there anymore. Ortiz is still there, but he's not on the show. Santana's gone, obviously, so he doesn't really have any allies. So he definitely needs allies before stepping up there. So.
Yeah, and I think it would be easy to make the Ops his allies, because I think that would also be a great fit. But I think it would. I really
That's
think
been done though.
It has. Yeah, I really think
A million
Bill,
times.
Yeah, I just think Bill and Keith together are. I'm just imagining the three of those guys, and I'm again, because I'm not saying they're trios every week, because Eddie's great on his own, doesn't really need anybody. But I don't know. I just like the thoughts of maybe if we saw it play out, it wouldn't look good. I don't know. Chris says, I'm still trying to figure out why they brought Eddie back the way they did and why his first opponent's Big Bill can't get past it.
I think it's just to give Eddie, maybe Eddie just wanted a match to be his first thing on the show. And if that's the case, then this just gives him a win that doesn't hurt anybody in the process. And, just to get him on the show and everybody getting excited to see Eddie Kingston back. It's kind of like, why was Darby Allin CM Punk's first match? That type of thing. So.
Chris says if it is just a match, it shouldn't be on a pay-per-view. Well, I'll put it to you this way. For all we know, Eddie asked for Bill. It's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe Eddie asked for him. I don't know. I'd be curious to know as well.
Maybe he said, give me somebody I've never worked with before. Who knows?
Yeah. I think Bill's proven himself. I mean,
yeah,
you can only do what you can do in the time they give you on TV, but they've kept these two guys around since Jericho split. And
yeah,
I like that. I'm interested to see how it plays out. I didn't want to move past this too much, but let me ask you this. Short-term booking, we'll get it, for Eddie moving forward. It's got to be, does Eddie just suddenly show up in Japan unannounced and take Gabe out after a match, and then he sticks around for a week and works him? What do you think could happen here?
It would make sense for him to get in Gabe Kidd's face at New Japan instead of AEW because that's where it all happened. So I can see that happening.
What do you want for Eddie? I know we're all going to say the world title.
Win everything.
I feel like there's been moments they could have pulled the trigger and they chose not to pull the trigger. And I don't want to always talk about Eddie the way we talk about Mark. He's not going to win the big one. I just don't know why that has to always be the case. Do you know what I mean?
I want to see, and this is very biased, okay? But I want to see Eddie Kingston as the AEW World Champion at least once. It doesn't even have to be for that long. A week, 2 weeks, I don't really care. I just want to see him as the AEW World Champion at one point in his career. I think he deserves it. He's worked really hard. He's over. He's very over. The fans love him to death. And I think that everybody would like to see that.
Fernando, I don't know what you mean. How is Eddie not world champ? It's okay to have your opinion, but I'm curious what makes you personally say that he's not world champion material. We have a cowboy as world champion, a legitimate cowboy who comes out to Western music and he wears chaps. I mean, if we're talking if we're talking gimmick, I don't understand why Eddie's gimmick is. I don't know. I can't get into your head, Fernando. I'm just curious how you got to that. It's okay that you don't like him or whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I'm just curious when people say stuff like that. I'd like to know how the brain's ticking. Chris says, I like Bill. Nothing against him. Should be a good ring match. Just weird setup for Kingston. Has to have some sort of run in or has to run in. I agree with the later on the card business. I'd love to see him. Have that at some point. Fernando says
it has to happen. He can't just forget that happened.
No. Eddie's character would never forget that happened. Yeah. Fernando says he doesn't have the look. All right, man. I don't know what that means anymore. I don't know what that means.
With all due respect to you, Fernando, I don't mean to throw you under the bus, but
she's gonna throw you under the bus so hard she might win a stuffed animal. I'm just saying. That's what she's doing. Don't nobody like my joke?
Samoa Joe was AEW World Champion.
Yeah, I mean, look. I will say I know where he's coming from. Eddie looks like a truck driver. It was the same crap they said about Punk back in the day. It was the same crap they said about Foley at one point. Was Eddie didn't look like much. But if we're basing it off of that, I've not always been the easiest guy on Eddie because my thing has always been, brother, you're on national television, airing around the world now. You're not hiding on TNA anymore. If Eddie heard me say that, I'm sure he'd put a fist in my mouth, which maybe I have it coming. Who knows?
That's a fair point. But I will give Eddie Kingston the benefit of the doubt right now. He has been training really hard with Cesar, so.
Curious to see how he looks when he comes back. Fernando says Joe looks like a champ. Eddie looks like Jelly Roll. We're not going to put the guy down like that, are we? Yeah. Fernando's coming out swinging. See that? JP says same thing they said about Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I
And
got thoughts on that.
I think it's part of Eddie's appeal is that he people can relate to him
Hmm.
in that way because he does look sort of like quote unquote one of us. He also has that underdog feeling to him too, where he gets so close and he always gets knocked down. He talks to people on a personal level with the mental health stuff and everything like that. It's so easy to root for him. It's so easy to root for him, and he's likable, and I don't know, what more do you want? I mean, besides muscled up, rah dude. But when it all comes down to it in pro wrestling, the fans want someone can that they can really get behind
Yeah.
and that connects to them. So he's all that for me. I don't know.
Pro wrestling is connection. That's
Yes.
all this is. And what I think personally doesn't really matter because he has that connection. I love Eddie. He
Yeah.
has that connection. There's no disputing that. Orange should be the world champion. I couldn't say that. I say that with my whole chest, as the kids say. Orange Cassidy should be the world champion. Don't know when it's going to happen, but I think it would be doing him a great disservice to not give him that championship. Not give it to him, but allow him to show you that he should have it. I mean, if that international title run didn't show you anything, it should show you that guy can carry your world title. I mean, as hard as he worked and the great matches he had, he was banged up, legitimately banged up that whole time. Like,
Mhm.
come on, man. Orange is your world champion. I think we have to do that at some point. I mean, if we don't do that, I don't know what we're doing. Like we said earlier, what sets you apart from everybody else?
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy is one of the first people that jumped to my head. And
Yeah.
plus, everybody can like who they want to like. But Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, how long should I keep talking? They all
Right.
give Orange his props. All of them.
Right.
It's kind of like people saying that Ringo Starr wasn't a great drummer. Your favorite drummer, their favorite drummer is Ringo Starr. Just so everybody knows. Just running that by you. Chris knows what I'm talking about too. Chris says that OC run was the best title run AEW has had in general. I completely agree. I just think it was awesome. I think it was a great run. See, Ray says stuff. Ray don't believe half that crap he just said. Ray just says stuff to trigger you. That's what he's doing. I know what he's doing. You know I'm right. He says stuff to trigger you.
Yeah, he does. And I
He don't
say
believe
stuff to
half.
trigger him too. So
Oh, there you go. You don't believe half of it. One match left, and we're going to let you start your weekend, Marie. Hangman Adam Page defending the AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Kyle Fletcher. If any member of the Don Callis family interfere, Fletcher will be disqualified and stripped of his AEW TNT Championship. What do you think about this?
Yep. I think that this was a great opportunity for Kyle Fletcher to really show what he can do in the main event spot. This match was not supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was an audible. It was supposed to be Wardlow, not him.
Mm-hmm.
But Wardlow, unfortunately, tore. Was it his pectoral?
I think it was his pec. I think.
Yeah, he tore his pec his first night back, and that's extremely unfortunate. Poor Wardlow. That guy can't catch a break. But this is what I think that this was the best that they could do in spite of that, in light of that. And I don't think that Hangman Page is losing the title Saturday. And I think that this is going to make Kyle even better. It's not going to hurt him one bit. It's going to make him even better.
Yeah, it for sure. Fernando says Fletcher shocks the world. Well, we'll see. He says Kyle will be on the match if the night come close, but he'll lose, but he will be champ one day. Fletcher's upside is tremendous. Ooh. Chris with a hot take. Chris says Fletcher is getting jumped by the Callis family. Just seems like something random they would do. Also, it would cost him the match while hurting him. Oh, man, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. What would be the reason, Chris? What would be your reason? Because, I don't know. What would be Dawn's reason? I wonder. Maybe because Fletcher doesn't win the belt? Maybe that doesn't cost them the match. You know what I mean? I don't think it's happening, but I like something different. But I would wonder what would be the reason for that.
Well, Kyle's been saying he did say on Dynamite that he doesn't need the Don Callis family.
That's true. Guess this Page is too good. This will be a great match. JP says Page's run hasn't been long enough. Yeah. Chris says, I don't know. Callis just cut a promo after the fact explaining it. Fernando says Davis comes back. Yeah, maybe. I love Mark Davis. I hate that I don't know if he got hurt again or what's happening with him, but I love Mark Davis, man. Hopefully they get him something to do when he does come back, if he comes back. So I'm going Hangman for the win here.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah. Well, kids, there's your All Out card. And before we start the weekend, we do this every week, and we're going to go for a couple of minutes, and then we'll let everybody go start their Saturday and Sunday here, whatever you got going on.
I am really sorry, but I'm going to have to
jump?
bow out of the open floor. Yes, I have to go. They're all waiting on me to go eat dinner, and I don't want to keep them waiting any longer. So
you tell them I said no. I'm just kidding. Marie, thanks for coming on. Before you jump, plug your show before you go.
All right. Well, you can check me out on Peaches and Power Bombs. We're a little bit random on Peaches and Power Bombs, but Ray All Day and myself have a Wednesday afternoon show at 4:45 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday afternoon, and we preview that AEW Dynamite for that evening. So make sure you check us out over on Peaches and Power Bombs and the Tailgate Party.
Nice. Marie, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
All right. Thank y'all. Bye.
See ya. All right, kids. There was Majestic Marie from the Peaches and Powerbomb show. And as we said before, kids, if you'll go give her a follow, I'm sure they'd greatly appreciate it. Her and Sarah do great work over there. So, yeah, thanks again to her for hanging out with us. Kids, the floor is wide open. Let's take a few minutes and whatever you guys got to say, whatever you want to talk about. Ray, we got you here. 2-pack or Little John. Got to get packed, man. I have to. Got to. And I love Little John, by the way. Part 2, Biz Marquis or Raw Base. I love Biz as well. If Adam Cole invited you to go apple picking, I'm not an apple guy. I'm going to shoot you down right there. I like Granny Smith apples, and I never eat them. I know they're really good for you. I never eat them, but I love them. Granny Smith for sure. And if you say you could bring a friend, yes. Later when we get dinner, which included brisket, fries, and glass of water and sweet potato pie. Yes, absolutely. I got choked up. Marie missed the fun. Hold on, kids. You know what they say? If it happened live, it was an accident. You won't know this on the audio version. I'm going to clip it all out. You'll never know. Ooh. And scene. All right. Let's see. Fernando says if Paramount buys Warner Brothers, is James Gunn's job in trouble? I don't know about his job. I wouldn't assume that. I do suspect that perhaps AEW there might be something happening with that. But that's just me from a distance. I don't want the merger, the purchase to go through. I don't want to see it. We have too many large companies. We don't need any more. We just don't need any more. We don't need these companies. We've got too many monopolies as it is. These dudes are just getting richer and richer and richer. I don't know what it means to say that we can't have this anymore, but something's got to stop. You know, the division, the disparity between who's got all the money and who has not enough to live, the gap has just widened to the point of no return, it feels like. Yeah, I'm not with this. I don't want to see this go through. Can you believe? Have I seen Grosse Pointe? I was going to tell you, can you believe I've never seen it? I don't think I have. By the way, I've got an idea, Chris, for the 6M, my favorite Stones album, which I don't have favorite Stones albums because I'm not really a Stones guy. But I do have one album that I listen to consistently, and that's Exile on Main Street. We would definitely have to do that on the 6M because I love that album. To me, everything they did after that was downhill. It's hot take, right? I'm just saying they've got classic tunes. I'm not trying to crap on them, but I am a Beatles guy first and foremost. Do you think Matt Reeves was hinting at the Court of Owls for the Batman 2? I would love to see the Court of Owls play out. That's one of the best storylines. Next to Hush, that's a great storyline. I'd love to see Hush play out as well. Oh, man. The Long October. What is it? The Long Halloween? There's a lot of great Batman stories that exist. It's kind of like there's a lot of great Spider-Man stories. You know what I mean? Like the Torment storyline. If anybody knows your McFarlane Spider-Man, the Torment storyline with Kraven the Hunter, I would love to see that play out. It ain't going to be Kraven, right? But they could adapt it maybe and make it somebody else. But man, that would be interesting. Here's a wrestling-related joke. Why were Dustin and Cody born in the country instead of the city? They both came from Dusty Roads. Boo. No, I'm not going to boo you. I'm just playing. That's not bad. That's not bad. Do you guys remember? Try it again. There was a guy back in the day. Let's see, what was his name? Do you guys remember a guy back in the day? Old school pro wrestling. Dirty Rhodes. You talk about stealing a gimmick. That is gimmick infringement right there, my friends. Yeah, I don't remember that guy's the wrestler's real name or whoever it was. Terrible. It is the open floor. Fernando says, what's your thoughts on the FCC getting Jimmy Kimmel fired? It's despicable. They are attacking free speech. And as someone who enjoys podcasting, I don't want anybody to shut my mic off. And I'm not on Kimmel's level. That's a fact. But if you disagree with them, they want to shut you down. Okay? And I don't know how else to say it to you. It's not a political show, so I'm going to try not to go there too awful much, but it is the open floor, and my name's on the show, right? I'm saying, if you don't agree with them, they don't want to hear from you. They want to shut you down. So I have a problem with that. Their side says some of the worst things. One of the worst things they ever said in public was said last week. That guy still has his job. Why? Why exactly does he still have his job? Someone explain that to me. Everyone loves free speech till they get their feelings hurt. Then they don't like it, right? It's a sad state of affairs, and it's frightening, if I can be real. It's frightening where we're headed. We're already headed. There's not much any of us can do here today about it, except try to get along with each other. That's really all we got. We can't change any of this. I used to think that one person can make a difference. I don't know if I believe that anymore. Not to end the show on a sour note. My hopes are down at all-time low. All-time low. I don't know what's going to become of us. So, did you see Stephen A. Smith rank Goldberg over Flair all time? Well, look, it came from Stephen A. Smith, Fernando. That should tell you all you need to know. I wouldn't want Stephen A. Smith to read the weather to me. I wouldn't believe a word he said. You know what I mean? Not a word. Yeah. Oh, JP, well done. Thank you. Dirty Rose was Roger Smith. Well, no wonder he changed his name. What a terrible idea, right? Dusty Rhodes. Because Dusty knew about it. I remember I saw Dusty being taught. He was asked about it one time. He was not happy. But I can't remember if it went any farther than that. You know what I remember? The old school wrestling mags. I still got a box full of them in my closet over there. In the old school wrestling mags, you could see Dirty Rhodes in the rankings. I think it was in Mid-South. You're going to hate that they're wanting to give him I'm not surprised. 100%. He's one of their guys. Stephen A. is. He said the right things about the right people. He's one of their guys. Yeah. Should AEW run a pay-per-view at the same time as Saudi? I think that's up to AEW. And I wouldn't do anything because WWE's running at the same time. I would do it because it makes sense for them from a business standpoint. If it makes sense and they think they could pull it off, I say do it. I say run a free show. I wouldn't do anything that you have to pay for. Nothing. I'd make it free, and I'd make it one of the biggest shows of the year. In fact, I'd make it a pay-per-view, but make it free. How about that? I don't know how you could do that, But that's how I would counter that. If you're going to counter anything, I wouldn't counter with something you got to charge people for. That's me talking. But that's how I answer, is that if you're coming at it from a business perspective, from a financial perspective, if it makes the most sense for your business to run against the other guys, then if that's what you need to do, then do it. Is it a good idea? Probably not. I don't think it was a good idea for them to move the show to 3 o'clock tomorrow. I know lots of people are happy about it, right? Because it's going to be like 4.5 hour show, 5 hours, which is, it'll still be over at 8 o'clock, but still won't be over at 1 in the morning, right? So I get that. I get that part of it. But in my opinion, once you move it one time, you're going to be moving it. I wouldn't have moved it. That's me talking. But you know what? They got to do what's best for them, right? There's always things working behind the scenes, kids, that none of us ever really know about, right? None of us know about it. There's got to be a reason. Roger Smith also had the name Roger Will. Well, shut up, JP. JP dropping the knowledge today. Well done. Do a 4-hour collision show and make it a pay-per-view quality. You know what? I am all for that. Call it whatever you want to call it. Call it whatever, right? God, I am all for, you know what? I say do that. If you're going to do anything, do that. Moving it directly against college football midday is wild. Yeah. I wouldn't have done it. Again, Chris, it's just Tom. No one called me. Imagine that. But I wouldn't have done it. I'd have been like, you're not, and we know the buzz about Khan has always been that Khan doesn't like to be bullied around. He does not like that. I know for sure he doesn't. I got stories. He didn't like to be bullied, man. No doubt about it. So like the fact that they moved it, I would hope that it wasn't just his decision. That again, they moved it for financial reasons, business reasons. That I can understand. I still don't like it. But do whatever. Oh, Rock and Roll Express or the Rockers. Is that what you meant, Fernando? I'm old school Crockett, baby. I always got to say Rock and Roll Express. Without the Rock and Roll Express, there is no Sean and Marty. Sorry. And I get it. They chose the name Midnight Rockers because of the Iron Maiden song. Judas Priest? Judas Priest. I could play that on bass too, by the way. That's a fun song to play on bass. Judas Priest. So that's where the name of the tag team come from. Come on, guys. You're wearing tights with leg warmers and your bandanas are tight. Come on, dude. Come on. What are we doing? What are we really doing? What are we really doing? Come on. I knew it as a teenager. I know it now. Come on, guys. Demolition. Come on. Really? What are we doing? Come on. Come on. Don't mess with me. Come on, man. I'm not dumb. I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Rock and Roll Express. Chris Patton says, have you seen the 5-match Steiner's running? I have not. Can you believe that? I don't think I've seen that. I'm sure they bashed plenty of heads and suplexed the life out of everybody they came in contact with. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Flash or Quicksilver? Flash is very compelling. I got into a lot of Flash comics at one point during my years of collecting. A lot of Flash comics. So yeah, I'm a Marvel guy. I'm Marvel ride and die, man, all the time. I appreciate good DC stuff. I love Peacemaker. If you guys aren't watching Peacemaker, you are doing life wrong. I wholly endorse Peacemaker. JP says Rockers didn't last that long. Sean Turner on Marty. Yeah, you're right. As the Midnight Rockers, they had a great run in the AWA, but they didn't have a lot of great teams to work either. No disrespect to, was it Buddy Rose and Doug Summers? Actually, disrespect to Buddy Rose. Not a great dude. But yeah, they didn't have a lot of great tag teams to work back then. And I was a huge, I love the Midnight Rockers. I did. I was young and I loved the charismatic tag teams. And yeah, they were Rock and Roll Express 2.0, but I still loved them. I still enjoyed their matches because even as a kid, I knew they could wrestle. The word work, I didn't know what the word work meant at the time. Wasn't it great back before we knew anything? Sometimes I wish you could just shove all the toothpaste back in the tube. Wouldn't that be awesome? Chris says Steiners and Eddie Guerrero versus Cactus Jack, Too Cold, and Dean Malenko. Oh my God, that sounds great. Too Cold Scorpio is highly underrated. Maybe not. Maybe people respect and appreciate that guy. If they're not, if they don't, they freaking should, because he was a maniac. Not, I mean, you know what I mean. Great. Scorpio is that guy that you looked at and you're like, he can't do all that. Then he does all that. And you're like, oh my God, how do you do all that? Wow. Really, really good. Really good. All right, kids, we've went close to 2 hours here, folks. And that's all we got for you this time. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you will, do me a big favor, folks. And this to me loads to me. If you have not subscribed on the YouTube, the link is in the chat. If you're not watching the video and you're just listening to the audio version of this, go to YouTube, look up Boink Studios, at Boink Studios. It's a black and red and white logo. You can't miss it. We've got a brand new show coming your way, Ray Sports and Slams, premiering October 6th. And in the week, that week and the week after, thereabouts, we will have 2 more brand new shows coming. I've not revealed to anybody. We're saving it. We'll reveal it later. But guys, you're not going to know unless you go to the YouTube and subscribe. And by the way, if you didn't see my Facebook post from earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, Facebook is deleting past streams. Okay. They're doing it to benefit them. I guess they're cleaning up servers. They don't want to clog it. I don't know what's going on. But they've been deleting old streams for a while now. I got another notification today that a stream from August is going to be deleted. So if you want to stay up to date on Tom Clark's Main Event, at least the live video version, I would appreciate it. You can do that on the YouTube, okay? But only if you follow. I don't want you to just go to YouTube and watch. First off, if you do, I appreciate you. But while you're there, subscribe. I don't do a paywall. None of that stuff's happening. Will it happen at some point? Possibly. But right now, all my content is free to watch, free to listen to, free to download, however you want to handle it. You can go to the podcast platforms if you'd rather just listen to audio shows. Do what you want to do. We're everywhere, okay? Boink Studios is growing, and we're excited. We can't wait to see what's coming down the road. Hopefully, you guys will be happy with the stuff. We got some cool stuff happening behind the scenes, and again, I'm keeping a hush-hush right now. We'll reveal it if you're following me on socials. Follow the brand new Boink Studios account on Facebook, kids. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. I think are we on the Threads? No, we're on Facebook and Instagram. And the YouTube, of course. How about that? We're also on Blue Sky. I think we're on Blue Sky. Yeah, Blue Sky is kind of a quiet platform for us. We'll see if we can actually get some traction over there. Fingers crossed. Thanks again, kids, for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for watching as always. Do me a favor, enjoy the show tomorrow. Yeah. Everybody have a great weekend. Be back here next Friday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We will review AEW All Out. So we're hoping for a great show tomorrow night. Hope everything comes off well. All the talent is healthy and everybody's good and comes through it great before, during, and after the show. We always wish that. And you know what? I wish it for the other show, the other company as well. Hope everybody comes through and everybody's in great shape by the end. And again, we appreciate you guys giving us your time and attention. Thanks as always for watching. Please subscribe on the YouTube. Check us out on all the social media. We appreciate you very much. Thanks as always, kids. And we'll see you next time.